Blog Talk Radio.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, of great this country. It's the American Sports History Podcast, hosted by my good friend Peter Ray. 347-205-9631. I'm Mark Mancini, holding the fort down here, too. As I give him the podium, as I give him the mic, as I give him the red carpet, Peter, how can people get a hold of you on a jam-packed show today?
Yeah, well, I have a website, Adventures in History with Peter J. Ray, and my YouTube channel is Peter J. Ray, and podcast is Adventures in History. My email is pistolpeteray@yahoo.com. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This show debuted last week. You got a lot of support out of New York, San Francisco, Bakersfield, and everything. You know, blogtalkradio.com/Mancini Sports, Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, all over the place. If you're driving around, 347-205-9631. Got a lot of guests on this show today. The first one we'll be bringing in here to join us, former Angel, former World Series winner. And I'll tell you, Scott Spiezio, how are you today, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great. Great. Well, not as great as I can be with the stay-at-home orders here in Illinois. But other than that, it's been pretty cool.
Well, we're blessed to have you. We're going to bring a couple other ladies on here momentarily. Jen Madison out of Arizona, and her friend Barbara out of there, too. So we're going to get a lot of people involved in this show today. I know your time is very important. We want to acknowledge that. But I'm going to give the floor to Peter Ray. It's his show, so I'm going to step back and give him the podium. Peter, you're on with Scott Spiezio.
Hi, Mr. Spiezio. It's nice to talk with you.
Hey, good talking with you.
Yeah, I was checking you out, and you and your father both played MLB, and I thought, wow, a big part of baseball is the father-son aspect, and you and your dad both played MLB, and you both won World Series for the Cardinals. So, you want to talk a little bit about your father and you and your baseball bond together?
Sure. Yeah. My dad played with the Cardinals from 1964 through 68. 3 World Series with them. One in 64, one in 67, and they lost Game 7 in 68 against the Tigers, but I got them back against the Tigers in 2006. So, yeah, I think we're the first father-son that and only father-son that won with the same organization. We both wore 26 as well. And I think we're the first father-son with 2 apiece. So it's pretty cool, growing up in Morris, Illinois, where I still live. We had 2 pitching mounds in my backyard and some hitting stations in the basement, and he would always pitch to me and pretty much every day. He'd pitch from the shorter mound to increase my bat speed and then go back to normal distance and work on curveballs and changeups, and I'd hit from both sides of the plate, and we'd always end the hitting session, in a World Series situation. He'd say, it's a Game 7 of the World Series, you're down 1, bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-2 count, what are you going to do? And so when I got to the World Series, with Anaheim, I felt like I'd already been there a million times. So it's kind of neat, it's kind of neat to have that bond, and we're both missing baseball right now, though.
Well, when you talk about baseball history and the biggest home runs in baseball history, Mazeroski in 1960 and Carlton Fisk in 75 and Joe Carter, I think, in 93. And your 3-run home run, the Angels down 3-2 in the series, in the 0-2 series, and it's the 7th down 5. And that's got to be one of the biggest home runs that you hit. And so that's,
for sure. Yeah.
Wow. You probably never get tired of talking about that.
No, it's something that, like I said, I prepared my whole life for. It wasn't Game 7, and it didn't end up winning the game, but it definitely turned the momentum around. And, we had just a great team that year. We never gave up. The Rally Monkey was kind of a gimmick, but we were the rally monkeys. We kept fighting, and we knew that no matter what the deficit, we could come back. And once we did, we knew our bullpen was so good that if we got the lead, they would hold it for us. And we just were, we just had a never give up attitude. And yeah, as far as that home run, it's something that, people come up to me today and say, man, I remember exactly where I was, when you hit that. And it's pretty neat. It's something they can't take from me,
Yeah, I mean, because you guys are down 3-2 in the series, and it's the 7th, and you're down 5, and a lot of people are thinking it's over. I mean, and
right.
And they said Dusty Baker gave the game ball to the starter when he took him out because he thought, he's the hero of winning the clinching game. And then, oh my God, so that's just an incredible. I mean, that's got to be ranked up with Mazeroski and Fisk and the others. So that's, even though it's not a long time ago, but that's, I mean, man, that's history. That's a major. I mean, wow.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was one of those things that we needed a spark. The inning before, Salmon was up with a couple guys on and ended up striking out. And I think the sails kind of, the wind got out of the sails a little bit. And then, all of a sudden the next inning, Kent gets a single and drives in a run and makes it, going from 4-0 to 5-0. And he pumped his fist in the dugout, and that really made me mad when he did that.
Right.
And then we got Gloss on. I think we had one out, and then Gloss got a base hit. Fulmer got a base hit off Russ Ortiz. I was really, thinking, okay, I'm going to get him this time. They bring in Felix Rodriguez, who I didn't have that much success, but I was just thinking, if I could just get the barrel of the bat to the ball and drive it in the gap, he's going to supply all the power. And he got ahead of me. I think it was 1-2 right off the bat, and I just said he's still got to come over the plate. He kept throwing 97 high and away. And I was actually, after 2 strikes, I was actually sitting on a slider, off-speed pitch. And because of my dad and I worked so much on my hands being quick and short to the ball, I just felt that if I could wait on the off-speed, I'd be quick enough to react to a fastball. And he ended up on the 8th pitch, after me fouling off, I think, 4 pitches. He threw a fastball, 97 down and in. And Tim McCarver, who played with my dad on the Cardinals, was announcing. And I think it was Joe Buck, too. And Tim McCarver said, if he misses down and in, this could be 5-3 ball game, and he did. And I got just enough of it. He supplied the power on that one. But boy, once I saw Reggie Sanders hit the wall, everything was quiet and in slow motion, and then he hit the wall, and the whole place erupted, and I felt like I was, just gliding around the bases, and I had so much adrenaline and saw everybody was so, pumped up. Fulmer, Gloss, Erstad was crazy. Mickey Hatcher in the dugout were nuts, and I could just see everybody's like, all right, we got this now. And I ended up having to settle myself down after that because I knew I might have another at-bat that was big. So I tried to do some breathing techniques and slow my heart rate down to be ready for my next at-bat. And,
wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, we get a lot of callers calling in, and I hate to interrupt you.
Sure.
We got Jen that runs the baseball operations out of Arizona. Let me bring her in. Her friends with that. And how much time do you got? We got 20 more minutes in the show. I know you had about 10. Are we crossing that, or are you?
I'm all right. I'm okay.
Okay, so we'll go the duration of the show. We'll finish the show with you. Jen has some questions. Her friend. There's a call out of New York. There's another one, Mark, out of Bakersfield. So let me just bring these in. Peter, great job as usual. Let me bring in Jen. Jen Madison, welcome to the show. You're on with Peter Ray, Scott Spiezio, and myself. You've got the floor, the podium, and the mic.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on. And, Scott, it's an honor to meet you. We lift you up. So Hi. So I'm the president of the Ball Players Association, the Association of Professional Ball Players of America. You've been a member of ours. The last time I had contact with you was 2007. You've been a member for 14 years. And I bet your dad is as well. I just have to go look in the paper records. But, so it's wonderful to reconnect with you.
Very cool. Yeah, it's been a while. I remember getting a little card from that. And are you guys on Facebook? I'll have to reconnect through that or something.
Please do. Yes, we are on the Facebook as the association. We also have a Facebook group, Friends of the Association of Professional Ball Players of America. And it's all hands on deck now. With these unprecedented times. I love your message about not giving up and being, it's really the comeback story, and we're all doing that. There are so many who need help now, and so we're saving the organization. We're 4 years from our 100th year, and, the postponement of baseball has decimated our usual funding methods, but our spirit is that we can do this, and together we are, we're not going to give it up, and we're going to come back and bring more good than ever.
Awesome. That sounds good. And I think I am already joined with that group now that I think about it. On Facebook. So
very good.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Wow, so blessed. So blessed. God works wonders. You have a friend that's coming in here too, Jen, that wants a question with Scott and her name too.
Yeah, so we have umpire Perry Barber. She was traveling through Arizona when everything hit, and we decided it was safer for her to quarantine here. And
cool.
She has been helping to support the association. She didn't realize that would be her role, but so we are stuck at home together and working the association. So I'll introduce you, Perry.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Jennifer.
Hello.
And just so you know, Jennifer and I are way more than 6 feet away from each other right now. So we are socially distancing within our socially distanced self-imposed quarantine here. Jennifer is still getting it done, trying to do the best she can during this very uncertain time when a lot of people are out of work and out of funds and worrying about paying rent. And she is helping so many ball players that would otherwise have very little assistance. And I'm just in awe of what she's doing and her mission. And I really, really appreciate it. And being able to witness what she does for some of those ball players who otherwise would fall through the cracks is very, very inspiring. So thank you, Jennifer. And thank you, Scott, for 2006 when the Cardinals beat the Mets in the playoffs. Really appreciate that. But I would like to ask you quickly about your career in the Cape Cod League, because I, too, am an alumna of the Cape Cod. I'm the only woman umpire that's ever worked there so far, unfortunately. But I think you were in the Cape Cod League before me, and then I also umpired in the Atlantic League for 4 years, the first 4 years of its existence, which was before your tenure there with the New York Bears. I had a lot of happy times out at what was it? That ballpark there, right off of River Avenue.
The Newark the Newark Bears one, or?
Yeah.
I can't even remember the name of the park, but I had fun. Yeah, I got to play. Our team was great. We had like Carl Everett, Willie Banks.
They had some great players the years. Jose Canseco and Ozzie, his brother, played for the Bears one of the years I was there. And I remember he hit one out onto the street outside the ballpark. Yeah.
He could probably still do that.
He probably could. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey, Mark, I wanted to thank you very much for giving Jennifer and me a chance to talk about things that, are really important right now. And one of that is helping each other, being kind to each other, and for me personally, to help and look out for my fellow umpires, many of whom are suffering unimaginably right now, have totally had the rug pulled out from under them. They have and I'm talking about amateur umpires as well as professional umpires. And the professional umpires are doing a little better in the last week since minor league baseball reversed its decision to compel them to return their unused per diems that they'd already gotten for spring training, and sending them home with no unemployment insurance, no prospect of getting a job, and they were told they had to be ready to come back at any moment. So it was a very uncertain situation for them, but thankfully minor league baseball has changed its mind and is doing a lot better by them, but still not enough. I mean, because, Scott, the pay at the minor league level and the independent league level is pretty terrible. It's really not sustainable. Yeah. I mean, I think even Jose Canseco wasn't making more than $3,000 a month, and that was the top salary. And nobody can live on that. It's just ridiculous. So thank you very much, Mark. It's very important to, get the word out and to help as many people as we can, because everybody is struggling and everybody is trying to, keep his or her head above water, including umpires like me who have had our entire spring and summer seasons yanked. I mean, I was booked through August, and now I'm, just going to be wondering what I'm going to do instead, other than read and eat.
Wow.
So thank you very much for including us in this conversation. I really appreciate it, and I know Jennifer does too.
We're so blessed and honored that you guys came in here, and I know you'll be on Thursday's show. And just to speak to Scott Spiezio and Peter Ray, we're just so thankful. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much for your time, and please reach out. And if you need any more information on this, we'll be more than happy to pass it on. But thank you very much, Terry and Jen out of Arizona, as they're practicing social distancing. And, boy, they are great people. Another caller out of New York real fast, and then we'll go to Bakersfield as this show is down to 12 minutes. Who's calling out of New York, New Jersey? You're on with Scott Spiezio, Peter Ray.
Good evening, gentlemen. This is Lou from New Jersey. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? You got a question for Peter or Scott?
Well, you were mentioning that one of you was involved with your father in baseball. What was that like? Father and son combination.
Well, it was great, but we never played together like the Griffeys or anything. But he actually played from 64 through 72, and I was born in September of 72. So I was basically at the end of his career. I appeared. So it was great in a way because I got to have a major league dad, basically, who wasn't traveling. And, he got to pitch to me, and he made me a switch hitter because he got platooned as a right-handed hitter early in his career. And, they only had 16 teams when he was playing. So, and it was a lot different. You have guys that could have been incredible major league careers that, were stuck in AAA. And, especially his team coming up, he had an all-star team that he had to try to break in the lineup, with Lou Brock and Kurt Flood and Mike Shannon and Ken Boyer.
Great players.
Yeah. So it was a lot different in his time. Thank God we had 30 teams when I was, in the league, and
right.
He did actually play for San Diego too. That was the expansion draft, and he's still got the first home run. He had the first home run, first RBI, first hit for the San Diego Padres.
Wow.
I think it was April 8th,
I think
69.
I recall. I think I heard about that.
Yeah, so there's some. He's got a memorable home run too, and he's got 2 World Series rings and one one that was second place ring, but it's pretty neat to put them all together and take pictures, and it was really cool when when we won in 2006. against Detroit.
Remember that?
Hello?
I remember that series. Yes.
Yeah. The next year, the Cardinals had him come out in his 26 jersey and give me the ring, and that was a moment I won't forget. You know, I don't think there was a dry eye in the place.
Well,
It was
I'll give you one thing. I'll remember one thing that, of a World Series I would like to forget. I would like to forget the Game 6 in '93, the Blue Jays against the Phillies, when the home run was hit. I just almost like dropped to the floor. I'm like, oh no, it can't be. I was just beside myself. I was going for Philly. I really was. And
Lou,
Joe, like I want to throw up.
Lou, let me get the rest of these callers in. We're about to be down in 9 minutes. No, that's okay. That's okay. We wish we had a little more time. We're down to 9 minutes. I appreciate your call. Stay online. You can listen on live. Thank you very much. Let me bring this other caller in from Bakersfield. There's another one out here. They're just lining up. 661, you're on with Scott Spiezio and Peter Ray. Who is this?
Hey, Scott, what's happening? This is Mark Heffernan. I was supposed to be announcing a baseball game today, but I've had 8 games canceled over the past 2.5 weeks. But I wanted to ask you, did you ever play in the California League, the high A division?
Oh, yeah.
The California League?
Yeah.
I broadcast some games for the Dodgers, B-Dodgers, back in the late 80s, Bakersfield Dodgers.
Oh,
we played at San Ballpark. Very cool.
I remember that park well because it was hard to see because the wall was like in the wrong spot.
Right.
The clubhouse wasn't very big too for the visiting team, but I played for Modesto A's. I got drafted in '93. Went to short season A ball in Medford, Oregon, and then for the playoffs they brought me up because Jason Giambi was hurt, so I got brought up and played the end of '93 and then all of '94 at Modesto. I loved it. I loved the Cal League. You know, it was great. Modesto was a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you think there's going to be a Major League Baseball season, and when do you think the year may start? Do you have any kind of a timeline there when you think that they may have 2 or 3 weeks of belated spring training then to start the season?
I'm hoping. You know, I think that they'll get some type of season in. I don't know how long, but I think. Once they decide, let's say it's May 1st, they say, okay, we're going to go back to normal. I'd imagine within 2 weeks the guys could get ready, maybe even quicker. And I could see them, you know, maybe incorporating some double headers and more than we're used to, maybe even extending the season a little bit, you know, as far as, you know, pushing the playoffs back. But I think they're going to get some sort of a season in. I can't see baseball going, you know, just vacating the whole season. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. But
by the way, belated congratulations on your big home run against the Giants. I'm a Dodgers and Angels fan. Anytime you have a big hit against the Giants, I love it. So that was great. Awesome performance by you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, thank you very much. We'll take one more caller, and then I'll get back to Peter Ray. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you.
Lose him. We'll bring up the last caller here. 818-29. Who's calling in? Wants to talk to Scott Spiezio, Peter Ray.
Hey, it's the pizza guy. What's happening, Mark?
Hey, how are you? You're on with Scott Spiezio and Peter Ray.
Peter, no disrespect to you, but I called to talk to Scott. So, Scott, when you guys won in 2002, it exercised the ghost of 1986 for me.
Right. Right. Yeah, we kept hearing a lot about that, and you know, Sosha kept telling us, "Hey, you guys are not the '86 team," you know, and that's what our answer was to the media. But we knew that there was a lot of people that were on pins and needles, but we were pretty good at just putting all that behind us, you know.
You know, I was at Game 5 when you guys beat the Twins with my 7-year-old son at the time, and
cool.
watching Adam Kennedy hit 3 home runs. I mean, they were grown men crying. I mean, it was great. I want to thank you for those great memories. I can't believe that it's been 18 years ago.
I know.
Right?
It seems like yesterday. But I'll tell you what, I got in the cage today, and I can tell that it's been 18 years because I definitely can't swing like I used to.
Hey, are you still playing the guitar? Are you still playing in bands?
Yeah, I mean, we still have the band. We never broke up or anything. We always talk about doing like a little reunion thing, which is possible. But my sons are both playing now. My oldest son's 20. He plays football in Division III out in Williams College in Massachusetts, and he's playing guitar. And then my other son is going to go to University of Illinois. He's going to be 18 here in May, and he's into drums. I mean, he's really into it. He might be a music major. He's something else. But they come over and lift, and we'll play some basketball and stuff, and then we break out the guitar, and they can both play. They're pretty good.
I'm pretty I'm pretty even keeled. I don't always I don't look at sports guys as heroes, but when I heard you were on the show, being a diehard Angel fan, and my dad is as well, and my whole family. Thanks for 2002. It was
thank you.
It was great. It was just the best.
Thank you.
And by the way, did they ever find Barry Bonds' home run in Game 2?
I think I think that's the first thing on Mars that ever hit Mars. Yeah, that was something else, but I appreciate that. Thanks. It's something I'll never forget.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Be
safe, everybody.
Thank
we'll
you
talk
very much.
soon, okay? My pleasure. Bye.
As I give it, boy, the phone, there's so many callers, and boy, it's a Spiezio smack here. I'll tell you can run your own podcast, brother. As I give it over to you, Peter, there's 3 minutes left in this show. I'll let you kind of close it out now that we've gone through. There's at least 15 more callers on here. Peter, with 3 minutes and change, you've got the floor with Scott to close it out.
Yeah, Mr. Spiezio, I wanted to go back to the 02 World Series because that ended a 41-year title drought for the Angels. It's their only title.
Mm-hmm.
And so, to me, when you're a fan, these title droughts have meaning because you're waiting. All these years are passing when you're not getting what you want, which is to win the World Series. So, that makes it even more significant, your home run, because it ended 41. Because back in the 60s and 70s, the Angels had some tough years. I'm not an Angels fan, but I was happy to see that title drought end and give all these fans after 41-year wait. So
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that here, with the Cubs as well.
Right, right.
and Joe Madden, of course, who I still am great friends with and love. He turned it around here, and I could see. I was very excited to see him get the job out there, and I heard him talking, saying, there's wins in the alum. And I'm looking forward to coming out there and talking to the guys and seeing the guys and try to help any way I can, because when I played with St. Louis, the alums were around all the time. I saw Bob Gibson and Lou Brock all the time. Stan Musial would come in and do magic tricks. Mike Shannon was around. Red Shandinks would hit me ground balls into his 80s, So I'd like to see that with the Angels, a lot of, and I think Joe is going to do that, and I think he's going to turn things around. I mean, he did it here in Chicago, and it was 108 years. So I think, he'll do it relatively quickly out there.
Have you written a baseball book?
No, but I've been writing a ton of stuff down. It's something I want to do with my dad. I've been talking to different authors, so I've got my ears open. I'm going to be picky though. I'm going to try to pick somebody that I really like their style but yeah, I've been writing stuff for about 3 years now, and I've been telling my dad to think about things too. Some good stories and some. It'll involve a lot of stuff because I had some ups and downs too. After the Angels and at the end of my career, I suffered through alcoholism and stuff like that, and now I've been totally sober for 2 years, and so there'll be some stuff with that too, and now I like helping people with that, with baseball and with getting sober and staying sober. I was a weird one because I didn't get into drinking until I was about 34, so it's weird. Most people do it when they're in high school and college, but I guess mine was a late bloomer in that regard. But I'm glad it's over with.
Well, I'm glad for you. I'm also a former alcoholic, sober, and I hope you write that book because, I'm a historian and I've read a ton of baseball books. There's a huge market for it. Between you and your dad, that's history that needs to be recorded. And especially I was thinking of all the guys, you mentioned all these great players that your dad, Bob Gibson, all those guys from the 67, the 67 Cardinals, that's one of the, all those guys. Roger Maris, and
so Orlando Cepeda, Ken Boyer, Bob Gibson, Steve Carlton. It's just it's amazing. The guys, I played with McGuire, Canseco, Ricky Henderson, Giambi, a ton, Ichiro, Edgar Martinez, Boone, you name it. I've played with a ton of amazing players. Pujols. Wow. Salmon, Garrett Anderson, Mo Vaughn. So between us both, there's, my dad played with the Sox and Richie Allen and Nate Colbert with the Padres. And so, I agree with you. We definitely both have to buckle down and get that out there. So we're working on it.
You can, okay, Mark, yeah. Okay.
No,
that'd be wonderful because I'm sure you can find an author, and that needs to be preserved, and that would be. I know you'd get a lot of people to read it today. The market's booming for baseball books.
Right.
Okay, we will. We'll get on that. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. Okay. What a show today, Scott. And I'll tell you, as we wind this thing down, I appreciate your time. You're a good friend of mine. With all these shows in this network that I've done. With Jeff Juden and Warren Brewster and stuff. We're just so blessed to have you involved in this, too. Peter, another great show comes to a close. I just wish Scott played with the Pittsburgh Pirates or your Cleveland Indians, Peter, and then we would have been okay with this. But being on that Rust Belt thing there, the Pirates and the Indians, and Spiezio playing his time with the Cardinals and Angels and stuff. So blessed.
Right.
Wonderful show. This is on blogtalkradio.com/Mancini Sports. All the Twitter handles, the Apple, iTunes, Stitcher. We'll be back next week, next Tuesday, same time. And, Scott, you got the floor, the podium, and the mic anytime you want, my good friend.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It was a lot of fun. We'll talk to you soon. Stay safe.
Thank you very much, Peter. Have a blessed one yourself, and we'll communicate during the week, and we'll get ready for another great show, my friend.
Well, thanks so much for the opportunity. God bless you, Mark, and keep up the good work. You're doing a wonderful job here.
Thank you. It's not me. I live it up to God. Have a wonderful night,
That's
guys.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay,
You too.
very good.
All right.